The ash-colored winds of Darsa Prime howled over the forgotten outpost. The planet, once a hub of human-alien diplomacy, had long since been abandoned after the Terran-Union conflicts. Now it was a skeletal remnant, crumbling metal structures, vines creeping through cracked corridors, and a thick silence only broken by static interference. Captain Joel Raines stepped through the dusty atrium of the ruined embassy, pulse rifle at his side. His mission was routine: scan for residual tech signatures and retrieve any black box logs for archival. But something about the place stirred a knot in his stomach, a déjà vu that prickled his senses. His boots echoed along the corridor until he reached the grand hall. Here, where banners of unity once hung, a figure stood cloaked in shimmering fabric, her silhouette backlit by faint sunlight filtering through shattered glass. She turned slowly, and then she said it. "Do you remember me, human?" Her voice, both ethereal and broken, drifted across the stale air. "Recognize me?" Joel blinked, momentarily disoriented. Her face was humanoid but subtly alien. Lavender skin laced with bioluminescent veins, elongated eyes that shimmered like twin moons, and markings along her cheekbones that looked vaguely ceremonial. He should have felt threatened. But instead, his hand fell from his weapon. Should I? Joel asked, cautiously stepping closer. She removed her hood. That face. Couldn't be. "Zayara," he whispered. Middle. A memory buried in dust. The name awakened something dormant in him. Zayara of Clan Thaleen, a Zalari ambassador's daughter. Nearly 15 years ago, before the fall of the Alliance, she had been assigned to Earth's Interstellar Relations Unit. Joel, then a young security officer, had guarded her diplomatic chambers. She had been curious, mischievous, and always trying to learn human customs. They had shared countless quiet moments during long nights in orbit, talks of art, stars, and forbidden jokes across cultures. But she had disappeared. Rumor said she was caught in the crossfire during the orbital bombardment over the Lys Prime. Joel had grieved in silence. No body had ever been found. "I thought you died," he said, voice thick with disbelief. "I nearly did," she replied, brushing her fingers across a fractured stone tablet. "But I was taken, captured by the Breakers." Joel clenched his fists. The Breakers. Renegade human mercenaries who had sold themselves to the highest alien bidders. They were known for biological experimentation and forced servitude of captured aliens. "They used me," she continued, voice trembling. "I was a symbol of peace once. They twisted me into a weapon. Programmed memories, pain implants. I didn't even remember who I was until 5 cycles ago." Joel moved to her side, watching her eyes search his face like she was trying to rebuild something long gone. "I escaped," she added. "And I came here because this place was where I last saw you. I needed to know if the past was real." Joel remembered. The night before her disappearance, she had given him a strange trinket, a necklace made of Zalari crystal. He still had it, back in his quarters. He remembered how her hand lingered against his. How she had said, "If anything ever tears us apart, remember the blue eclipse." "I never stopped remembering," he whispered. She closed her eyes and smiled. Small, broken, beautiful. The reawakening of old wounds. They spent the next few hours exploring the ruins together. Zayara, still haunted by fragments of pain, showed him scars beneath her skin, metal nodes, neural branding, and what she called memory thorns. The Breakers had tried to erase her identity and replace it with obedience. "But they failed," she said. "Because no matter what they took from me, one thing remained, your face." Joel sat beside her near the collapsed observation deck, watching Darsa Prime's twin moons rise over the jagged hills. "Do you know why I came back to active duty after retiring?" he asked. She looked at him, curious. "I saw your face in a crowd," he said quietly. "On Virella Station. Just a glimpse. I thought I was going mad. But it pulled me back in. Like something unfinished needed an ending." Zayara's fingers trembled as she reached for his hand. "You weren't mad," she whispered. "You heard my echo." He squeezed her hand gently. "Now you're real. And I'm not letting you disappear again." Twist, the signal. Just as warmth and silence began to settle between them, Joel's wrist console chirped. A distress signal. He frowned. "That's not standard broadcast. It's encrypted Zalari protocol." Zayara's eyes widened. "It's them. The breakers." She nodded. "I knew they might track me here. They embedded a transponder. I tried to burn it out, but..." Joel's instincts flared. "How long do we have?" "Minutes, maybe less." He rose quickly. "We need cover. Is there any underground chamber left intact?" "Yes, through the ambassador's quarters," she said, already moving. "Follow me." They descended through cracked stairways and collapsed hallways until they reached the deep diplomatic chamber, once a place of interspecies negotiation, now a moldy husk. Joel activated a portable cloaking field. Above, the rumble of a descending craft shook the walls. Red lights pulsed. The unmistakable growl of hydraulic doors sounded as mercenaries began combing through the ruins. Joel turned to her. "They want you back." "I won't go," she hissed. "Not again." He smiled grimly. "Good. Because I didn't come here to collect data. I came prepared for war." He unlatched a magnetic case from his belt, revealing a compact human Zalari hybrid rifle. Her eyes lit up. "Is that? Your people gave it to me the day you disappeared," he said. "Your father did. I think he hoped one day I'd need it to protect you." Zayara reached for her own hidden weapon, an elegant plasma blade she'd salvaged from her past. The hum of it filled the chamber like a forgotten melody. Together they waited. Climax. The last stand of Darsa Prime. The breakers stormed in with cloaked armor and pulse rifles. They expected weakness. They found fury. Zayara moved like lightning, her blade slicing through shadows, her movements elegant but merciless. Joel covered her flank, his aim precise, calculating, unforgiving. The two fought like a unit forged by time and trust. Smoke filled the corridors. Metal clanged. One by one the mercenaries fell. But reinforcements came. Drones. Grenades. A missile pod activated, shaking the foundation of the old embassy. Zayara was pinned. A drone closed in. Joel leapt, intercepting the blast with a kinetic barrier. The impact knocked him against the wall. She screamed his name. But he rose, bloody and defiant. "You okay?" Zayara stared at him, breathless. "You'd still die for me." "Every time," he grinned, pulling her to her feet. "But let's make sure I don't have to." Together, they detonated the core of the chamber, triggering a seismic collapse over the remaining breakers. Dust and rubble swallowed the outpost. When the smoke cleared, only silence remained. They emerged hours later, exhausted, scarred but alive. Ending, a future not forgotten. Back aboard Joel's ship, the Stellar Resolve, Zayara stood near the viewport, watching the stars blur into streaks of light. "You risked everything," she said softly. "Why?" He handed her a small object, faded and cracked but unmistakable. The necklace, the Zalari crystal, still faintly glowing. "Because you're the part of the past I never wanted to forget," Joel replied.